This is the Ponderous Brick Thinker with a castle update. And the update is, I'm going to try and complete the rock facings from here all the way to the corner. Or as much as I can handle in a week. In the previous episode, I kind of hovered this panel here to kind of estimate where the rock facings are going to go. And it's going to be about here. And the other thing to note is this part is going to be attached to the base. This part is going to be removable. There's hardly any support here, so moving the base, this is going to be very risky to move with it. So this is going to be detachable. Over here, I'm imagining it's going to be going with the base. Everything's pretty much secure. It's close to the edge. I have the green base here to help secure it, and I believe that would be the best way to go. Here is a mini update. I have this here to suggest the rock facing that's going to be attached to the base. And then I have this that's going to be detachable. It's going to be remain flush on the desk, and it's going to be against what will be the brown bricks and eventually maybe the finished castle walls. It is rather higher than I first designed it, so we'll see how high the walls actually go around here, or it might actually be a green hill effect also. Maybe not that much because I still need place for the Lego people to walk through. And then I also have this part. You notice I have this up here and this here, which means it can attach to that one. I originally did not have the wedge up here. It was like this, but it seemed to erupt a horizontal line right there. These diagonals are coming very dramatically, and then all of a sudden it stops. It almost looks like the Lego people reduced the height, which would indicate there was something here that they, reasonably needed to reduce the height there. But by putting the wedge, it makes it a little bit more natural that it still continues that diagonal. And then I have these horizontal studs right here, like that, and then it's like this, and there we go. And then I just need to figure out how to attach it using the system I've developed, somehow incorporate it right there, or maybe something else. Let me see, where's that sketch? Here's the sketch. It's too high, so I'm gonna need to develop something else. One more change, or one more addition to the design, is the corner over here. I did not want to put a rock there, but I think it needs it. So I'm going to put something like this, and then something like this. I also want to give me the opportunity to have a column here to help support this corner of the tower. Otherwise, this corner is going to be unsupported and it can be disastrous. But something like this, and it's going to be attached to the base because it's going to also be part of the structure of the tower, but also part of the basement. And that helps me kind of visualize what's going to be going on over here. And I just need to figure out maybe a little bit more rock facing this way, just to suggest that there is still more rock coming down, maybe on both sides. This might work. Here's a possible solution for attaching the rock face to over here. Since this green base is lower than what this would allow to fit underneath, this might work. Even though it is somewhat permanently attached because it's Lego to Lego, nothing really temporary about it. This is a small enough piece, I believe, that's going to be able to latch on and be held in place with this. And again, this is not meant to hold this rock face to the base while I move it around. It is just meant to keep it in place while I look at it from different angles, so I don't have to reposition every rock face around the base. And so what makes this work, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 studs coming down, then a plate, then the surface to which this bracket is holding onto, and then it's 4 studs this way. And so that's going to be the lucky formula for here, just transferring it over to here. So I have the 4 studs ready to go. I just need to put the bracket on there. I'll probably secure it a bit better than here, just so that when I push it, or when I try to connect it to the bracket here, it has some resistance to it and be able to be pressed onto without breaking off. Now that I've attached the rock face, you can see what I meant by securing the bracket. I essentially sandwiched it between 2 plates that secure to the support right here. Even though it is securely tied with the traditional Lego way, which is the studs into the back of a brick, I can still use my hands because this base is going to be traveling independently from the other half. And so I can still come in here, use my hands and fingers to kind of secure it, and I'm good. Then going this way, I can combine them both like that. I still haven't decided yet if I'm going to secure it together just temporarily so that when I move one half, they all come together. I probably will do that. It is just more convenient. But for right now, this works. Now, this is next. This face now has the rock sketches needed to complete this side. It has a jagged line, a general upward trend in that direction, but I still want to change it. Especially here, I can build this out a bit more, and this part here, to emphasize this is a different plane, more inward. I like how this plate is working out. It's covering up a lot of area where brown bricks were needed, and now I can be confident in that. So this is going to stay. I'm just going to build it out partly more like this, and with plates that I can't use in the corner because they're probably too big. And for this part, I'm planning on breaking it apart, give it some more depth, more probably bricks between the plates, and see how that goes. Here are the rocks with some depth. Kind of following an overall flow, still trying to make it look natural, break away from the line that it was there in the first iteration. I use the same support structure as this side, which is on this level, and then horizontal studs there above a brick. Works great, especially with the green base like this. Gets it right there. You might notice that I use these 1x2s with a center stud just to get it back on the grid, because over here, this is a brown brick. If I had not done that shifting, this would have been off by half a stud, and you would have seen brown brick all the way down to the desk, which is what I wanted to avoid. I wanted to have the brown bricks kind of be on top of the rocks. So I had to put it back on the grid with these, because they're off, because that's the way that they're structurally attached to the base. So it's a little bit of finagling, but I think it works well. Let me put this in place. And here's the complete effect with the rocks in place. Now to the corner. I more or less followed the green base, even though in the future I might be able to rearrange it according to the needs of the basement. But what I do have are the plates and bricks needed to kind of cover this area. So these are set aside. I do have extra plates and bricks that I can use elsewhere, maybe add more detail in other parts of the castle, but we'll see. Right now, let me show you what's in how this is all together. It's the same setup. There's horizontal bricks holding it in place. This height, I did have to, I don't know if I had to, but yeah, I did. Because they needed to be off the grid in order for it to be kind of flush with the existing rocks. This 1x2 with the center stud is enough for it to be kind of snug to that edge right there. And so that's what I needed, but I also wanted to cover this right here. This would have been shown without the rocks covering it. So basically I needed to go around and put rocks and height that. And I more or less made a consistent bar across, so that way I can attach rocks where I need it. And there we go. But that is the corner, and I believe the main face of the rocks is complete. So let's take a little tour, looking at all that. Next part will be the browns, starting over here and just following along, putting browns where I need them here, going around until I need to go into the green hill and going that way. So it's browns, then the greens, and then the actual castle construction. So this has been the Ponderous Brick Thinker. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it, maybe learned something, and if you did, go ahead and give it a like or subscribe to see how this project turns out. See you next time.